1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Can you go check the audio quality? This is Trade Ice, and we apologize, folks, for the technical difficulties earlier. But we are right here in the action. It's the top of the second inning. Brinson to Jake Sears with runners on second, third. Sears pops one out to short right field. Maddox Smith underneath it. And Maddox Smith unable to throw right now. Interesting play right there, as it sounds like head coach Landon Powell is going to send Andrew Kaminsky back to third. So no sac fly there for Jake Sears. And 2 big outs here for Brinson. As Brody Fowler steps into the box. Which mic am I on, Alan? Testing 1, 2. I clicked off the broadcast. Am I on one? Brody Fowler takes one. Up and away, 1-1 count. Brody Fowler with 3 big hits yesterday. Takes this one for a ball. 2-1 to the young, talented freshman Brody Fowler. Folks, we are live here in Tigerville for the Game 2 of the Fall World Series. Big spot here for Team Red. Fowler, a very hot bat at the plate right now. Runners in scoring position. Zach Zara led off this inning with a single to right. Andrew Kaminsky worked a walk. Josh Williams tried to sack the runners over, but was unsuccessful. Brinson got a 1-5 fielder's choice over to Caleb Hall at third base. Jake Sears flew out to right. And now there are 2 outs. Good count here for Brody Fowler, looking to do some damage against the lefty. This pitch just missed up and away. You can see Brinson wanted that called a strike, but was not. And so we are going to flip back to the top of the order, and Darian Whitaker is going to get an opportunity here for Team Red with the bases loaded. Whitaker looking to make a big jump this year. He has had a good fall so far. Gets a breaking ball there. Good cut, but fouls it away. Whitaker, second-year player, appeared in 29 games for the Crusaders as a freshman. Very talented outfielder, good center fielder. He's had a good fall so far. The 0-1 hits him, and that is going to bring in a run. Andrew Kaminsky will score for Team Red to give them a 2-1 lead. How did we get here, folks? It's 2-1. The guy coming to the plate right now, the birthday boy, the All-American hero, Corey Bivens, team captain for Team Red, and his first at bat in the top of the first, launched a home run into left center field to put Team Red up 1. For Team Black, Pat Monteith, who's actually playing shortstop today for Team Black, his first start ever as a shortstop. He blasted one off of Reese Fields to tie up the game at 1. But now Team Red has taken the lead. Corey Bivens, big spot here. Bivens, the walk-off hero in Game 1. As Team Red trailed 5-0 in that game, they came all the way back, and Corey Bivens walked it off with a double in extra innings to score Brody Fowler to give his squad a 1-0 lead in this best-of-5 series. Thank you for joining us. We are trying to broadcast it. We had some audio difficulties early, but Alan Cahaley is with us now. Alan, are we good to go?
I think we're good to go. Still working on the camera picture a little bit, but other than that, I think we're good.
So we want to thank Alan for bringing this to us live here. Alan, a sports information director with North Greenville, does a lot with the baseball program, brings all these streams to us. And he gets a good pitch to hit, but I think he might have gotten jammed a little bit. Deerdorf underneath it out in left field. Puts it away. Brinson escapes more trouble. Looks like Brinson might have a blister or something on his left hand. We hope nothing too serious. But Team Red does get one. Thanks to the hit by pitch by Darian Whitaker. Brings in Andrew Kaminsky as we head to the bottom of the second. And we are back here in Tigerville as Reese Fields takes his warm-up pitches. This is assistant coach, hitting coach Trey Dyson to bring you the broadcast here for Game 2 of the Fall World Series. Reese Fields, the Conference Carolinas Pitcher of the Year. Reese was also the Herff Jones Conference Carolinas Male Athlete of the Year. He had a tremendous season for the Crusaders. 20 starts last year for Reese Fields, a record of 11-2, 102 innings pitched. Let's also add in World Series MVP, as he had 2 wins in the World Series in Cary last year to help the Crusaders win the national championship. Was a workhorse on the mound, and folks, he has only gotten better. Throws 5 pitches. Throws them all for strikes, keeps hitters off balance, and just really does a nice job of pounding the zone. And we are going to bring in Landon Powell as he makes his way up to the booth. Head coach Landon Powell is joining us. Coach Powell.
What's up, guys?
Coach Powell, how are you, sir?
I'm good.
Good. All right. Well, we are joined by head coach, National Coach of the Year, Landon Powell. Landon, thoughts on the fall so far?
Man, it's flown by. I can't believe we're already in the Fall World Series. But beautiful day here. Boys are playing hard. Had some runs early, so it's exciting.
It's exciting indeed. And also, this is Game 2 of the Fall World Series. We already have a home run here from the shortstop, Pat Monteith, as well as the birthday boy, Corey Bivens. So what about this game has caught your attention here early?
I think the thing that's caught my attention the most is that Connor Brinson has a little wound on his hand, and he's dealing with that. So he threw a changeup, and his nail on his pointer finger scraped his thumb, so he's bleeding. He's having a hard time getting it to stop. So that's creating a little bit of an issue for Black team and their pitching.
Hey, folks, this is the first broadcast of the year. We're having some difficulties in here, but we're getting there. We're getting there.
Am I still good?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Reese Fields strikes out Colin Fowler there. 2 Fowler boys I know that you're excited about having on the squad this year.
Yeah, they've both been good. You know, Colin came in from UNC Greensboro. Veteran guy, played a lot of college baseball so far in his career. He's done a good job this fall, playing great in the outfield, hitting some home runs, so that's been good. And then his little brother, Brody, is not so little. He's 6'7", pretty impressive freshman. So he was one of the better players in the state of South Carolina last year coming out of high school. So we're pleased to have him here, and he's done really well so far this fall.
And Caleb Hall is now in the batter's box. Caleb Hall, a very talented freshman from Florida, came here with Carter Deerdorf. Carter Deerdorf has had an outstanding fall. You want to touch on those guys?
Yeah, when you say came here, yeah, they went to the same academy in Florida called Inspiration Academy. Carter's a guy that we had recruited a year or so ago and committed to us back last fall, so over a year ago. Caleb was a guy that kind of came on the scene late for us. Didn't really start talking with him until this past summer, right before school started. And man, he's been a great player too. So we're excited about both of those young freshmen. They both have some serious potential and can be guys that have great careers here.
As Hall chops one over to Bivens at third base, and the first base play so far here today has been really good as Brody Fowler picks that one up for 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. Landon, we have congratulations to yourself and myself and the Crusaders, Crusader Nation as a whole, national champions last year. We have a big banquet coming up on November the 3rd honoring last year's team. You want to tell the fans a little bit about it?
Yeah, so we're, as Maddox Smith gets hit by a pitch there, first pitch cutter down and in, hits him on the shoe. So man on first down with 1 out. Yeah, the banquet next Thursday, November 3rd. We're doing a big national championship banquet and ring ceremony to give all the guys their national championship rings. We're doing that at Fluor Field, which is home of the Greenville Drive here, and minor league affiliate for the Boston Red Sox. It gets ranked every year like one of the top 10 minor league ballparks in the country. Beautiful facility. We're going to do a sit-down dinner out on the field, on the infield of Fluor Field, and should be a really fun night. We're excited about it. Give out some team awards like MVP, Pitcher of the Year, Freshman of the Year, things like that, and then present everybody with our national championship ring. I know we'll have a couple of videos that show. I think it'll be a really fun night to kind of honor the year that these guys had last year, which was incredible.
It was incredible indeed. And Coach Powell, we're lucky to have you here for a half an inning. We know this team very well. Someone's got to do some coaching around here. So Pat Monteith, a guy who wants to lead off, and now he's going to want to play shortstop after his early success here today.
I've been joking with Pat the last couple of years that he can play anywhere on the field except shortstop. He's a great defensive player, and that was one of the things I noticed about him right away. Hold on one second. My cord got knocked out again.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're having some tangled cord issues here. So I've always joked with him. Great defensive player, can play outfield, third, catcher, first. It really doesn't matter. And the other day he caught a couple innings, went to third for a couple innings, and played center field a couple innings, all in the same game. I've always joked with him the only position he can't play is shortstop. So today he put himself at shortstop in this game, and I guess he's 1 for 1 so far defensively. He's had 2 plays.
He had, early on, I think.
Ground ball, first play of the game.
He made a really nice play against Darien. Good runner, first play of the game.
Then he maybe
double play against Cash.
Yeah, Jack's Cash double play ball. You're right. That was in the same inning. So 2 balls in the first inning.
Yeah, just a great player, great kid. Trying to get this kid to the Cape. So any Cape guys out there watching, watch this, guys. He smokes another one into left field. Whitaker over there to cut it off. Maddox Smith, good runner, going to be held up at third. And there will be runners on the corners here in the bottom of the second inning with Pat Monteith now 2 for 2.
I'm surprised Pat didn't go to second there. As aggressive a runner as he is. Darien's got a good arm, and Vasquez at short's got a lot of savvy and good arm as well. So maybe Pat thought that it wasn't worth the risk with 2 outs. Probably a smart play when you got Deerdorf coming up, who's had a great fall. We updated all our stats this morning. Carter, as a freshman, is actually leading our team in batting average, on-base percentage, OPS. He's having a phenomenal fall, and as an 18-year-old kid, pretty impressive what he's doing at the plate. Got to get his arm healthy. He's also a two-way, can pitch. And I've seen him on the mound. He's very good. But right now he's been dealing with some arm stuff, so I haven't been pitching at all this fall. Just playing outfield and first base and doing a really good job at the plate. So
He really does have an advanced approach. In his first at bat here today, he smoked one out to right field, and Andrew Kaminsky made a nice play yesterday. Caleb Freeman, who is out sick today for Team Red, actually robbed him of a home run.
Yeah, that's right. I think he's got 2 or 3 home runs on the fall, so that was he's got 7 extra base hits or something this fall, so he's doing pretty well.
And of course, the stat that we're certainly looking at now more than ever. He's got the best strikeout to walk ratio on the team. Coming into today's game in the fall, 46 plate appearances. He's drawn 13 walks, only struck out 3 times.
You know, I was looking at the stats, and that's one thing I liked. The top 5 or 6 guys on our stat sheet, actually the top 6 now that I'm looking at them, they are Deardorff, Fail, Girardi, Vasquez, Monty, Zara. Those are the top 6 guys in our fall as far as stats go. They all have more walks than strikeouts. So that says something about a hitter. You know, good hitters typically have more walks than they do strikeouts. And, you know, so for our top 6 guys on our stat sheet for this fall to be doing that, that shows probably going to be high on base percentage guys. They're going to put the ball in play, create pressure for the defense. You know, I love stuff like that.
Yeah, especially nowadays with pitchers getting nastier and nastier. Finding those type of hitters are getting rarer and rarer. Deardorff, you see that again right there. Just he's not afraid to take his walk. And now Fields is going to have the bases loaded and has put himself in a very precarious situation here as somehow, some way, John Michael Fail is still at North Greenville University.
Maybe Reese was walking Deardorff there to get to Fail, you know.
For content? Or,
that would be the only reason. Yeah, I mean, John Mike's an incredible hitter, had an amazing career here. I lose sleep over the fact that he is not in professional baseball already. I feel like I've let him down as a head coach that he's not in professional baseball. There's got to be – I mean, it's amazing that he can be as talented as he is, and they have not given him a shot yet. Last year had to do with his knee injury, medical report, some of those things. I mean, I think he definitely was going to get drafted last year, but hurting his knee late in the year really hurt him. He's back healthy now, been doing great. I'm sure someone will give him a chance at the end of this season, but we're thrilled to have him back. As much as I don't think he should be here, I'm glad he's here.
And
ball in the dirt. Jax Cash goes to pick it rather than block. Hits off his face mask, bounces about 20 feet away, 30 feet away for a run. As a catcher there, I mean, Jax he's got to block that ball. That's man on third with 2 outs. You got to know any ball in the dirt, you got to smother it. Can't let it get by you. Save a run there, and he got a little lazy, tried to pick it, didn't make the play, and you know, now they've allowed to run in and still in danger with John Mike at the plate.
Yeah, well, overall, I would say, Coach, catching overall this fall has been very solid. From receiving, blocking, overall, that one definitely gets away from Jax. But overall, wouldn't you say you're pleased with the catching?
Yes. I mean, I always expect a lot out of those guys as a catching coach and as a former catcher. So, like, moments like that, I just can't deal with that. I need them to make those plays right there. But, I mean, we're completely spoiled here with our catching core at North Greenville. John Michael Fail's been the best catcher in the country several years running. Jax Cash is a draft type guy that's our backup catcher. You know, how lucky are we to have a guy like that we get to play half the games back there and come in if John Mike gets injured or something like last year. Jack's filling in. You know, we lost the All-American National Player of the Year, and then just plug in a guy like Jax Cash, who's a tremendous catcher. That obviously kept us going. If we don't have Jax, we don't win a national championship last year. So to have those 2 guys, and then Jake Girardi has just, you know, been a great player here for several years, but hadn't gotten many opportunities because of the guys in front of him. He's really turned it on and turned himself into a great player.
As John Mike chops this one, and looked like Team Red had on a weird defensive alignment there. Almost like John Mike was parting the Red Sea with that ground ball up the middle, but more RBIs for John Michael Fail, and Team Black is taking a lead here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, the shortstop was way over in the 6th hole, and they had the second baseman pretty much straight up, so that left a lot of room up the middle. You know, I probably would have had the second baseman behind second base. John Mike's he hits a lot of balls up the middle and to the left side. You know, I'm interested. It looks like Reese Fields to me is laboring a little bit. I don't think he feels good today or something. I'm trying to watch his body language, and he just doesn't look like himself.
Yeah, well, Reese Fields is a great pitcher in the spring, historically. In the fall, he has at times given up some runs, but there are some good hitters here for Team Black. Bryce Roddy in there. Bryce Roddy struck out his first at bat, but has had a great fall overall. Roddy actually leads the Crusaders in home runs this fall. 4 home runs on the year. He hit one in Game 1 of the Fall World Series 2 days ago. And there it takes a good cut at that pitch right there from Reese Fields.
Yeah, Bryce is he had some key moments for us last year as a freshman. Got a big, huge game-winning hit against Columbus State in the Super Regional. Big moment. I threw him in there, and he came through. And he's a winner. He's a gamer. He loves to compete. And he's improved himself a lot. This summer he worked really hard. Went off and played summer ball in Gainesville, Georgia for former big leaguer Micah Owings, who does a great job and runs a good program there. And Bryce went out and had a great summer. I think he led the team in hitting this summer. But on top of what he did on the field, he got in the weight room every morning, lifted, really dedicated a lot of time and energy to his body, gained 15 pounds of muscle. He has come back this fall more powerful, faster, and he's turned himself into a guy that's going to be competing for that starting job at second base.
Yeah, he is takes this one. Good pitch there from Reese Fields, but he's played some good defense at second base. We like a good fast runner at second base. Bryce has some speed. Still needs to work out there at second base a little bit, but losing Garrick Octavio from a year ago, certainly going to be a gap that Bryce Roddy is looking to fill this year for the Crusaders.
Change up, gets him. Reese has been working on that change up a lot, trying to develop that pitch, and Bryce is a guy that can hit a fastball but struggles sometimes with that slower off speed, has a hard time letting it travel. But Reese still struggling. Reese is laboring. That's not like him. Conference pitch of the year and College World Series MVP. You can tell he doesn't have his best stuff today because he'd be mowing through these guys a little better, I think.
Yeah. Well, maybe he'll turn it around. Landon Powell, we thank you for joining us. I know you got to get down there and coach him up, but do you have anything you want to leave Crusader faithful with?
No, I'm just I think it's an exciting time in our program. Coming off that national championship last year, we got a lot of really strong players returning. I mean, you got fans of our program, parents that may be listening. We're returning 6 or 7 guys that started in the national championship game. John Michael Fail, Pat Monty, Zach Zara, Jax Cash, Corey Bivens, and Reese Fields. I think that's everyone, but you talk about returning a big chunk of a great team from last year, and we've added in a lot of really talented young guys that we're excited about. We have this is the best freshman class we've ever had. I think about our freshmen, and I get real excited for the future of our program and what it's going to look like the next 3 or 4 years with these guys. And, it's an exciting time. I think the Crusaders are going to continue to make some noise, and our goal is to win it all again this year.
Okay, well, before we let you go, we do need to talk about Mark Kloop.
Okay.
Mark Kloop, Conference Player of the Year last year, did some great things in the offseason. Why don't you let the fans know kind of what he has accomplished and what to be looking forward to this year?
Yeah, so I didn't mention Mark just now when I was talking about the guys returning from last year's national championship. But, yeah, Mark is actually coming back here. He's going to be back in the spring, and he's going to be playing with us. And so the reason Mark's not here this fall is he stayed in Czech to do an internship. First pitch slider, Jalen Vasquez, a little line drive down the first base line, and Kyler Odom, a little diving catch there. Nice play. So
Odom looking good over there at first base here.
Yeah, he's a good player. That's one of those young freshmen we're really excited about. He's doing a great job this fall. But yeah, Mark has been in Czech Republic. He stayed there to do an internship, and he's also playing for the World Baseball Classic team for Czech Republic. They went and played in their qualifier, I think in Germany or Spain or wherever it was. And Czech Republic has never qualified for the World Baseball Classic. They've never moved on to the next stage. And Mark had a great tournament, hit a couple home runs, made a couple incredible defensive plays, threw a guy out at the plate, robbed a home run, just played incredibly well. And Czech Republic actually won, base hit by Jax Cash up the middle there. Czech Republic won their qualifier for the first time in the country's history. So they have now moved on to the next stage in the World Baseball Classic, and they will go to Japan, play in the Tokyo Dome, and try to see what they can do there. So Mark will play in that. He'll come back here in January. He'll be back in the classes and playing on the baseball team. He'll play with us February and March, and then I think March 10th or somewhere around there he has to leave and go play for Czech Republic in the World Baseball Classic. And then when he's done there, he'll come back and join us and finish the season with us. So exciting stuff. Pretty unique to have a North Greenville athlete, competing on that stage, which is the biggest stage really there is in baseball, in the World Baseball Classic scene.
Yeah, a lot of things to be excited about if you're a Crusader. I mean, Coach, I got to say, if we can't win some games with the group of guys that we've assembled here at North Greenville, there's probably something wrong with us.
Yeah, I'll blame it on the hitting coach probably if we can't win some games.
Eddie Taubensee?
We got a great roster, and I think we got a great coaching staff. And I'm excited about what we built and what we got going. And it's fun to – I live down in downtown Greenville, and I get to drive up the mountain every day and come here, and it's a lot of fun. I get excited every day getting in my car coming this way because I know what a special group of guys we have and how much fun we're having out here on the baseball field every day, and get to work with guys I appreciate and old teammates like you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we've had a great time here. Okay, I know you're in here, so I got to ask you. I know you got to get back down there, but let's talk about Mike Rodriguez, the nightmare. Mike Rodriguez, the fall that he has had.
He's been impressive is probably not a strong enough word. He's been incredible. We knew he had a lot of talent when we recruited him, and he had Tommy John before he got here. He heard it at his junior college after he had already committed to us. So comes back last year, throws 20, 30 innings for us, but he was only 11 or 12 months off Tommy John, so he just wasn't himself. He wasn't strong, wasn't dialed in, but he still was effective. Now he's back. Like his, you can tell he's strong again. He's that Tommy John is well in the past. His accuracy has improved, velocity has improved. This fall, I don't know what's he thrown, 12 innings, and he's got 30 strikeouts or something insane like that. I think he has a 22 strikeout per 9 ratio. Just amazing numbers.
Yeah, he's got 30 Ks in 12 innings pitched. His Ks per 9 over the course of the fall, 22 and a half.
That's not bad.
And
allowed no earned runs in 12 innings this fall. And listen, people at home, he's facing some of the best hitters he'll face all year right now. Like these are the numbers he's putting up in the fall against our guys. And we got some of the better hitters in the country. So I think Mike Rodriguez is in for a great year. If he can stay healthy and take care of all his business off the field, he should have an incredible season and probably get an opportunity to get drafted. Deep drive.
Zach Zara lifts one out to right field, maybe off the end of the bat. Maddox Smith two-hands it out there. We got to get him using that glove out there, but he made the play. Nice play, and Zara, for the third or fourth time this fall, has flown out at the wall.
Yeah, Zara has been a warning track king this fall. He has been.
He smoked one off the wall in game one.
He did. Hardest hit ball of that game. Game one, the hardest hit ball of the entire game was Zach Zara hit it off the top of the fence. Right there, squares up a slider with 2 strikes, hits it 374 feet to the part of the fence that's 375 feet. So good play by Maddox Smith to go back and not get nervous around the fence and make the play. Maddox Smith, young freshman out of Socastee High School down in Myrtle Beach, and he's a hard worker, plays the game the right way, kind of an full effort, all or nothing kind of guy, and I love the way he lays it all on the line.
And Andrew Kaminsky gets a pitch he can handle and blasts one deep into left center field. Andrew Kaminsky, last year's World Series MVP, one of the smoothest swings in the game, coming off of knee surgery with a big 2-run bomb to drive in Jax Cash. Huge hit right there from AK.
Gotta love it. AK, I told him last year, Trey's giving me a high five in the booth for those at home. Trey, big fan of AK, as we all are. But AK, if people at home knew the secret, AK is probably Trey's favorite player on the team. But incredible hitter. There's good reason for him being one of your favorite players. I called him last year a Fall World Series legend.
Yeah, you did.
I did. He was the Fall World Series MVP, and I think maybe 2 years running he's been the Fall World Series MVP, 2 years in a row.
He's been an incredible player. And last year, the starts that you gave him, he produced.
We gave him a start in the regional finale against Lenore Ryan elimination game, and he got 3 hits or something that game. And he comes through when given an opportunity. And used to be a two-way guy that pitched also, and now we're just using him as a hitter only. Chopper right side by Josh Williams. Bryce Roddy puts him away. But, yeah, great swing by AK there. Big hit.
Yeah, we're going to have to get AK up in the booth. I mean, actually, AK's in right field.
It's first day back playing in the outfield, running around out there. First day doing that.
Well, folks, if you don't know, Coach Landon Powell and myself, we both love kind of being up here in the radio booth. We both have had experience doing it. We love, North Greenville and try to be able to share it with as many people as we can. So, Landon Powell, thank you so much for joining us. And, I guess we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, I wish I could go sit down and watch the game a little bit, but I got a recruit that's showing up any second here. So we're going to go show him around and see if we get a future Crusader out of it. But, Trey, you're doing a good job up here. I'm sure the folks at home are happy to be watching our guys play. We're going to try to broadcast maybe a couple more games next Tuesday and Wednesday. We're not sure for yet on that, but I'm going to try to talk our wonderful SID, Alan Cahaley, into doing those, because I know that I've received a lot of messages from parents and people back home that they would love to see our team playing some, and I'm glad we're doing this today. So,
all right, well, before we let you go, last thing, who's going to win this game?
I believe that Red is missing Nate Roof and Caleb Freeman. So, and they threw Mike Rodriguez Wednesday. So, I think Black has better pitching later in this game. I mean, they're going to go from Brinson straight to Caleb Cox. And they got Noah Engel waiting in the wings. Red does have Cooper Sane. Who else does Red have? They're not throwing Brody Fowler. He's going to pitch tomorrow. They got Sahil Patel.
Yep.
Who also is very, very good. I'm probably forgetting somebody, but I don't know. These teams are really evenly matched. I would have thought going into the game that Red had an advantage with Reese Fields on the mound, but Reese just hadn't had his stuff really today. He's laboring a little bit out there. So I think Black. I'm going to put my money on Black.
All right. Landon Powell, thank you for joining us. We will talk with you soon. And we are going to just stay with you here as Reese Fields finishes his warm-up tosses. A lot of action here early. It is 4-4. Game one was exciting. It came down to extra innings, and it looks like this one is shaping up to be kind of the same type of game. Big home run there from Andrew Kaminsky to tie things back up for Team Red.
That brings the play here for your home squad. The definition of a party. The Party Party, number 55, Jake Girardi.
And I'm not sure if at home you can hear the public address announcer, but that is our very own Jackson Edwards, a freshman who has got a future in broadcasting for sure. He's done an outstanding job as the PA, and that is Jake Girardi, or as Jackson called him, it's the Rardy Party.
And by the way, having a little bit of issues getting the score bug up, so it looks like we're going to have to go without that for the rest of the game. So just a quick reminder, it is tied at 4. Black is the home team, Red the away team. We are in the bottom of the third, tied at 4.
Folks, that is SID Alan Cahaley, who has put up the stream for us today.
Yeah, sort of. It's been a headache, but finally able to get it going. So do apologize for the technical issues. In my defense, showed up here this morning, and half of our network ports, which is what we mostly use to get these broadcasts up, turns out they weren't working. And so that's been the whole issue. Was able to get the video going, but then couldn't get the audio, and that took forever. So luckily we're going now. So.
Well, we are working now, and Reese Fields must have heard Landon Powell talking about him as he has gotten ahead of Jake Girardi here pretty quickly here. Girardi having a great fall, came into today's game hitting 379 on the fall and puts a barrel on this one in an 0-2 count. That's over AK's head out in right field, and Jake Girardi, is that his first double of the fall? That's his first double of the fall. He does have 3 home runs, but Team Black answers right back against Reese Fields. That'll bring up the smooth hitting, smooth fielding Kyler Odom to try to, at the very least, get him over to third base.
I'm curious, who's our home plate umpire?
Mr. Cahaley, that would be Trey Hudson, the home plate umpire. He works a lot of our fall games in the past. He's an outstanding umpire. Trey, the brother of former Crusader Tristan Hudson,
Gotcha.
who was part of the national championship squad a year ago.
I was going to say, he looks familiar.
Odom bunting here. I'm not sure I like this call. You're a left-handed batter. If I'm down there, I'm telling him to hit because all you really got to do is try to pull something hard to the right side, which for a left-handed batter against a right-handed pitcher is usually an easy thing to do. But can't fault them for wanting to get the runner over here.
Yeah, no surprise. Haven't seen, well, he does get the bunt down.
Well,
proved you wrong.
Ended up working out for the Big Ode as he not only gets the runner over but also gets a base hit. Kyler Odom had a great fall, hitting 325, a couple of home runs, OPS 938. And folks, anytime you have an OPS on base plus slugging percentage, really 850 or higher is kind of what we're shooting for, which is a high OPS, and he, as a freshman, over 900 in the fall.
And yeah, really since Landon Powell began here at North Greenville, haven't really seen a whole lot of small ball. Understandably so.
Yeah, we come from the school of under the school of Ray Tanner baseball at the University of South Carolina, and we were taught to hit balls really hard and really far. That's what we both tried to do as players. Landon played for longer than myself, so he hit a ton of home runs. I hit some home runs, but we're not anti-bunt at all. We do like bunting, and we've actually had a lot of bunt for base hits here this fall.
Let me ask you this: when composite bats were outlawed, how much did that impact the small ball era with bunting, and did that kind of take away from it?
Colin Fowler hits one high and relatively deep. A little bit of miscommunication out there. Darian Whitaker gets it, but what a nice at bat right there from Colin Fowler as he hits a sacrifice fly to bring in Jake Girardi. That's good situational hitting from Team Black, and they are now up 5-4. What year are you talking about, roughly?
Talking about, when what was it, BB Core, when that became a thing, prior to that, where you had just bombs among bombs. Home runs were such a huge part of college baseball, and then all of a sudden
they
went
just
away. Completely deadened the bats, and it really – and I used to help out with the travel team, and I had a drop 3 bat, and, man, you want to talk about the difference between hitting with a drop 3 bat and a modern BB Core bat. It was unreal how much that changed the game.
Yeah, it did. There was a time there where certainly the bats became deadened, and a lot of college coaches really adjusted their game planning around that, especially when South Carolina was making their run in those World Series back in the 2010-11 range. There, at least for 2 of those years, it was completely dead bats. And
yeah.
There was certainly more bunting and hitting and running and stuff going on like that. The bats nowadays are getting back to pretty good. There's a lot of really good bats out there. So we don't like giving away outs at North Greenville, but we do enjoy bunting for base hits. Kyler Odom was technically trying to sacrifice there. It did turn into a bunt base hit, but I would have preferred him swinging the bat right there, but it ended up working out for Team Black.
Yeah, I remember a couple of years ago, I believe it was before you arrived, but Mitchell Painter bunted late in a game against Anderson, much to the dismay of their head coach. He did not appreciate that bunt for a base hit.
Well, it's part of the game. And are you talking, was like the score out
It
of
was,
hand or
yeah,
something?
yeah. It was a one-sided game, and it was definitely before your time because I was still scoring the games in the dugout back then. But yeah, he did not appreciate that, and I probably wouldn't have either. So I didn't blame him one bit. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the unwritten rule of baseball stuff is like, to me, I don't really care too much about that stuff. If you want to get all up in arms, a play like that, I don't care. Like, if you're playing against me and we're losing by 20 and your guy wants to bunt, I don't care. Like, it's part of the game. But other coaches certainly have an issue. As Caleb Hall gets into one here against Reese Fields on a full count, hits it really hard into center field. Loud contact here for Team Black. The freshman a bit unlucky this fall, but puts a good swing on one there. But it will be an out for Reese Fields and Team Red. See Darian Whitaker going back on that. Whitaker, very talented outfielder for the Crusaders, looking to make a big jump this year. And that'll bring up Maddox Smith, the young freshman who made a nice play on a ball out there in right field last inning, getting a start today. Did not see action in game one, and let me tell you, folks, Maddox Smith was none too pleased. He wants to make an impact here for Team Black and his captains, John Michael Fail and Noah Takis. And he's got an opportunity here with a runner on first. Big hole over there on the right side. And after getting hit in his first at bat, Maddox Smith gets hit again on that sharp breaking either cutter or slider there from Reese Fields. That's the type of game that Maddox Smith is going to bring to the ballpark every day. Not afraid to take his free bases, not afraid to get hit by the pitch, just a winning competitor type of baseball player, and we're certainly happy to have him here in Tigerville. And a big situation here for Team Black. They lead this game 5-4, and Pat Monteith comes up to the plate with runners on first and second.
We have a mound visit from the Red Squad.
Let me ask you this. I'm going to take a wild guess and say that these players are probably counting down the days so they get to play at Minute Maid Park in February.
Yeah, definitely. It's something we talk about a lot. We were playing in like a preseason tournament there at Minute Maid Park in Houston against some really good quality competition, something that Landon really wanted to do. And we're looking forward to it. These guys are super competitive. There's only 9 spots on the field. So getting all these guys enough at-bats, enough time on the mound and stuff is certainly going to be a challenge. But it was a challenge for us last year as well. And I felt like we handled that pretty well. So looking forward to that trip for sure. And
Yeah.
Pat Monteith is looking forward to continuing to make an impact right here. He's already 2 for 2, hit a bomb in his first at bat to left field, and a single in his last at bat. And this one is grounded out to the left side. Jalen Vasquez up with it, but that is not going to be in time for the speedy Monteith. Monteith, a 6'7", 60 runner, just does it all for the Crusaders. 3 for 3 on the day. I must tell you this, Alan, before the game, I talked with Pat Monteith, okay? He's had a good fall, but it hasn't been an all-star type fall for him, and we know that he's that type of player. I felt like he was almost trying to walk too much to prove to Landon that he could be a leadoff type hitter. We had a conversation. I told him that he needed to strike out more. Now, when have you heard a coach?
I was going to say, you don't usually hear that.
No, I told him he needed to strike out more because he's being a little too tentative up there. As Deerdorf inside outs one into left field. Tough play for Josh Williams, and Deerdorf is going to get a hit. And did that drive in 1 or 2?
Yeah, that was 2.
And with 2 outs, both runners on the move there, Deerdorf continues to do big things here for the Crusaders and Team Black, and Team Black is now up 7-4. But just to finish the conversation with Monteith, He came into today's scrimmage with 16 walks and 9 Ks. And Monteith is a guy he's not afraid to strike out, but he's also not afraid to hit a game-winning home run. Mm-hmm. We saw him have a huge postseason last year. But today, I think maybe relieving some pressure. Like, it's okay. You're going to strike out sometimes. But he has been on fire today, and I'm not trying to take credit for it, or maybe I am. But he is 3 for 3 here today, making a big difference. Folks, Team Black leads this one 7-4. We are in the bottom of the third?
Still bottom of the third. Yep.
Bottom of the third. We're going to take a short break, and we will be right back. And welcome back into Tigerville. This is the Fall World Series here at North Greenville University. Trey Dyson alongside Sports Information Director Alan Cahaley. Team Black leads it 7-4. Reese Field's day is done for Team Red. And Sahil Patel, the young freshman, has entered the game for Team Red. 2 down here for John Michael Fail. This one is poured in there for a strike. 0-1 to Fail. Fail has walked, and in his last at bat, he hit a single back up the middle for a couple RBIs. Scoreboard still not updated yet, Alan.
Yeah, I might have to go over there and see if they're having an issue with it or something.
Yeah, it looks like they just updated it.
Okay, yep.
So 7-4 Team Black, 1-1 count. We thank everyone who has joined us here on the YouTube live stream. John Mike gets a good one to hit right there and fouls it back. Sahil Patel, talented freshman, very successful in high school from the state of Georgia. He was an outstanding two-way player. He's coming to North Greenville as a pitcher only. He's had a pretty good fall. He's had some good outings, a couple ones that have not gone his way. But this ball, once again, kind of back up the middle. Jalen Vasquez dives, makes a great play, and flips it over to Zara to get Deerdorf for the fielder's choice to get out of the inning. So nice job from Sahil Patel and Jalen Vasquez right there. to stop the bleeding for Team Red, but not before Team Red puts on another 3 runs. They now lead it 7-4 as we head to the 4th. We will be back.
Now batting, number 6, Jake Sears.
Jake Sears to lead off Team Red here in the top of the 4th. He flew out to right field his last at bat. Quick reminder, top of the 4th, Team Red trailing Team Black 7-4. Both teams with 5 hits apiece, no errors for either team. So we're waiting for Trey Dyson to get back in here. Here he is. First pitch is a called strike.
Yeah, thank you, Alan. Jake Sears at the plate, last at bat, flew out to right field, had a runner on third. Potential sac fly opportunity. Maddox Smith got it, and they were able to hold the runner at third base. Now, folks, we are very pleased to bring in superstar right-handed pitcher Noah Takis to the broadcast. Takis, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Trey. Nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, Takis, great year for you last year. National champion. You ended up leading the nation in multiple categories, including earned run average, opposing batting average, whip, ERA, and some other categories as well. So just a tremendous year for you last year. Why don't you reflect upon that for a little bit?
Thank you, Trey. I felt like I kind of grew a lot last year as the year went on, kind of realized what my strengths were, and then started to be able to use my strengths to my advantage and kind of pitch towards the other team's disadvantage. Some would say, like doing some studying film or watching hitters' swings. I learned a lot about, reading swings and reading takes from some of the best hitters on our team, and kind of learned how to pitch certain guys that show certain tendencies or whatever. And I really kind of was able to exploit that down the stretch, especially with like some timing mechanisms and having, different pitches that move in different ways. I felt like I was able to kind of have a lot of success on the stuff that a lot of people don't even think about goes into the game of baseball.
That was baby shiesty Jake Sears, who smoked one into left field for Team Red for a leadoff single. We are joined by right-handed pitcher Noah Takis in the booth. Noah Takis, you are on Team Black. You are a captain of Team Black here and a captain of the overall team. But for the Fall World Series, you and John Mike are leading up the Black squad. You started in Game 1, had a great outing, by the way.
Thank you.
But y'all had a big lead, but you lost it.
We did. Yep, that was obviously a loss is disappointing. We're not used to those here in Tigerville. And, just a couple things didn't go our way. Catch a ball here or there, make a couple pitches. The game's a lot different. I thought I pitched really well, kind of kind of did what I do, really, kept hitters off balance, made it work, and got through 3 clean innings, ended up getting a couple strikeouts too. That was nice, and then, gave up a couple runs out of the pen, and then didn't really hit in situations. Obviously, we were facing Mike Rodriguez, so, expecting a bunch of runs off of him is, that's insanity. But we're back today, and we got a good lead here. We got to see if we can hold on. And Brinson's in his last inning. He's been pitching pretty well, limiting damage and leaving guys on base. So if he can get through this inning, I like the way we stand going into the 5th. It'll be if he can get through this one.
Yeah, Brody Fowler at the plate right now. Brody Fowler, a two-way player, has picked it up big time lately with the bat. Actually got a hit off of you yesterday.
He did, yeah. He roped one.
What do you think about the young Fowler?
I like him. I like his swing a lot. He kind of, with a tall guy like that, everybody tries to pitch him down, and he kind of gets, like we were talking about earlier today, he gets the barrel under the ball, which a lot of taller guys have trouble with. You can't really get the breaking balls down on him because he's really good with his hands, kind of getting underneath the ball and staying through it rather than, getting on top of the ball, rolling over like a lot of taller guys do. Which, that helps. I had never faced him before, and I think I'll attack him in a different way next outing next week.
Yeah, and folks, if you're listening at home, Noah Takis, very smart guy. I believe at last year's Scout Day, as Fowler takes a walk here, I asked, of course, as a young kid, as a young baseball player, a competitive baseball player like yourself, I mean, you certainly at some point had dreams of playing in the major leagues.
Yeah, definitely. For sure.
But then you're also kind of realistic. You're not throwing 98.
Yeah.
And last year on the Scout Day, I asked you what round you thought you might be going in, and what was your response?
Well, I was saying I hope I can just get accepted into a law school.
So Tech is a very smart guy, and the way he's talking about attacking Brody Fowler a little bit different next time. I mean, part of the game of baseball and part of developing in baseball, as Darian Whitaker squares one around to bunt here, is gaining information, learning and developing and thinking about the game, and that's something that you do really well.
Yeah, I kind of take pride in that. Basketball, football, everybody talks about watching film. Baseball, like, people are kind of just starting to get into that, reading swings. Like Darian's got a close-off swing. You're not going to pitch him as like you would a Pat Monteith or somebody,
Well, let's not give away too much information.
Right, yeah. I'm not going to tell you how I'm pitching Brody Fowler next week, but I can guarantee you he's going to see a couple different looks than he saw 2 days ago. Let's see how Connor does here. Need him to get a ground ball.
And Whitaker
back to him. Is he going to 3? Nope, not going to 3.
Down, and trouble here as Roddy was late getting over there to first base. And that's a bit interesting there.
I thought he could have got him at 3rd, didn't you, Trey?
I don't know. I mean, Jake Sears not the best runner in the world, but it was bunted to the right side, and that's a bad play for the Crusaders there.
I gave Chewy some instructions, so I would be taking a mound visit right now. I told Chewy to go talk to him. If we got in trouble, I would consider this trouble. I don't know if Chewy's trying to hype himself up to go have a mound visit. Looks like he's just tossing balls in the dugout.
Yeah, well, what you don't know, Takis, is when you went away, Jake Monroe told me to get you in the booth to take away your managerial prowess, and it has certainly looked like it's paid off.
Yeah, it sure has. Brinson's just he's pitching well. He's just got to get his slider down a little bit. I've been working with him on kind of like pitch tunneling, which is basically making your pitches all look the same even though they're different pitches. His slider's been popping up out of his hand a little bit the last couple innings. And it's a quick fix that he's just got to work on, throwing between the strike zone and home plate with his slider rather than leaving it up in the zone.
Well, that wild pitch there brings home a run for Team Red, and you guys had a 3-run lead. Now you only lead by 2. Takis, I think you need to get back down there.
Yeah, I probably need to go because Chewy's definitely not going to take a mound visit like I told him to.
Chewy's thinking about it. He's thinking about it over there, but has yet to take the mound visit. Noah Takis, we thank you so much for joining us. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, Trey.
That was Noah Takis. His team had a 3-run lead. Corey Bivens chops one in the ground out to Monteith at short. Throws it across, but a good quality at bat right there from the birthday boy Corey Bivens, as he has a home run early in this game and now an RBI ground out to shortstop to bring Team Red 1 run closer. So good situational hitting here from Team Red. Whitaker with the sack bunt to move him over. I'm sure I don't know if he'll be getting a hit for that or a fielder's choice, but that should have been an out. But nonetheless, he does move the runners up, and Bivens gets him home. And with one out here, what a play there. Vasquez smokes one back up the middle. Brinson with the backhand. I don't know how well the viewers can see that at home, but good little stab there from Brinson. Just popped out of his glove, and now there's going to be runners on the corners here as Vasquez hits one hard back up the middle for a base hit.
Yeah, I don't think you can blame any pitcher for that ball getting away. That was just a sharp ground ball. Almost kept it in the glove, but just made its way out of the glove down the third base line. Ended up being a base hit, but still a good stop nonetheless. Definitely saved a run.
And that'll bring up the money man, Jax Cash, who coming into this game was leading the Crusaders this fall in RBIs and extra base hits. Had a great year last year, including a big World Series for Jax Cash. Did a lot of catching and would DH on games where he would not catch. Started 52 games for the Crusaders last year and hit .353. Still looking to unlock his power. He had 3 home runs last year, but he's got a lot more in the tank if he can get it to click for him at the plate. Like I said, he's had a great fall. There's a lot more in the tank for Jax Cash. Good swing there on that backdoor breaking ball. Cash, a big RBI guy here this fall. He not only does he lead the team in extra base hits, he also leads the team in RBIs. 17 RBIs coming into today's scrimmage. And this one's hit really hard out in the right center field. It's going to be another extra base hit for Jax Cash. Darian Whitaker is going to score. They're going to send Jalen Vasquez all the way from first. The relay throw from Bryce Roddy in short center field. A perfect throw is going to bang Jalen Vasquez at the plate. So Jax Cash smokes one off the wall in right center field. The fast Jalen Vasquez unable to score thanks to the great relay there from Colin Fowler to Bryce Roddy. Roddy on a rope zips it into John Mike to nail Vasquez at the plate. Alan, that's some good baseball. Right?
Yeah, definitely. So one run did score, so it should be 7-6 as of right now. Now, according to the scoreboard, we're in the 7th inning, which is not the case. So, yeah, we're pretty sure it's 7-6 right now with the black team still leading with 2 outs now here in the top of the 4th, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, should you go over there and
probably,
fix that?
Yeah.
All right, Alan's going to take a break from the broadcast to go try to help the boys over there with the scoreboard. But we have had tons of action here in these first 2 games of this Fall World Series. Team Black is leaving Brinson out there to try to figure it out, try to stop the bleeding here. Lots of back and forth action. Great swing from Jax Cash right there to bring in another run. Cash catching today, so we're doing some free substitutions for the catcher as far as runners are concerned, and Team Red puts Darian Whitaker out there at second base. Zach Zara at the plate. Zara hits one over to Odom. Odom gets it and races to the bag just in time to nab Zach Zara. Kyler Odom playing some really good defense today for Team Black over at first base. It is now a tie ball game here in Tigerville. Team Red storms back with 3 runs of their own here in the bottom of the 4th. And we will continue to bring you the action here in a few moments. And welcome back in, everybody. This is Trey Dyson alongside Alan Cahaley, our sports information director here in North Greenville. This has been a back-and-forth game all the way. Team Red just responded with 3 runs to tie up the game here as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Sahil Patel now on the mound for Team Red. Well, Alan, how you thinking so far?
It's been good competitive baseball. Good to see the hits coming. Seems like the hitting is typically what kind of maybe you don't agree, but it seems like for me when a season begins, and we're quite still a few months away from getting the season underway, but it seems like the hitting kind of takes a little bit to get going typically at the start of the season. So it's good to see them firing on all cylinders during the off season, and hopefully not that the pitching's been bad, but when you're facing lineups like this, it's any pitching's going to be bad. So
yeah, tons of talent here in Tigerville, and you're right though, Alan, because at the beginning of the fall, the pitchers really did dominate the hitters. So as we are getting into like the 50, 60 plate appearances for these hitters have made some adjustments, and over the past couple of games, especially as the hitting coach, I'm certainly excited to see these guys having much better at bats.
Yeah.
And Bryce Roddy, who's had a good fall, he struck out twice here today, but just made a great play to nail Jalen Vasquez to keep it right there at 7 for Team Black, tied up 7-7 here. Made a tremendous play out there with a relay throw to John Mike to nail Jalen Vasquez after Jack Cash hit the double off the wall out there in center. This pitch from Sahil Patel poured in there for a strike. Roddy in a 1-2 count. These lefties, Alan, the left-handed hitting has been very challenging for our left-handed hitters this fall because of how many left-handed pitchers we have on this roster. But Bryce Roddy, has he crushed left-handed pitching this fall? No. But over the past couple of weeks, he's made adjustments, and he has looked way more comfortable against left-handed pitching. 2-2 count here to Roddy. Gets a pitch, skies it out into left center field. Got good barrel on that one, just underneath it. And Darian Whitaker makes the play out there in center field to retire Bryce Roddy.
I'll tell you what, speaking of Darian Whitaker, I meant to mention this when he was batting the last half inning, but, speaking of getting off the slow starts, had a chance to see him with the Concord Athletics over the summer, the Wooden Bat Summer Collegiate League. I was working for Kingsman Baseball in Rock Hill, and, saw Darian Whitaker in the Athletics a couple times throughout the season, and, Kingsman, it seemed like everybody, like all the teams would get off to very slow starts, and I imagine getting used to wooden bats, as a college athlete probably is not an easy thing. So, completely understood why these players kind of got off the slow starts, but man, once they started getting used to it, getting those hits, man, it was fun. It was fun. They, a lot of home runs late in the season. I believe the Mooresville Spinners ended up winning the whole thing, but that was a great experience.
Very good, Alan. And Jake Girardi is in the box here. And Girardi having a great fall. He has been hit by a pitch and has hit a double in this game. Girardi been in the program for a very long time. Just a great teammate and looking to make an impact on the field this year for the Satyrs. He's going to walk again, and once again Girardi gets on base. Coming into this game, Jake Girardi had a .513 on base percentage. Alan, that will play.
It's decent.
Yeah, speaking of summer ball, shout out to 2 Crusaders, Marek Kloop and Bryce Roddy, both of them winning not only national champions during the regular season, but also summer ball champions. Marek played in the MLB Draft League. Bryce Roddy played in the Sun Belt League in Georgia. Roddy had a great summer, as Landon Powell alluded to earlier. Kyler Odom, who's made some really nice defensive plays out at first base, is up against the tough lefty Patel with a runner on first base and 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th.
So we have a quick trip to the mound. Let me ask you this. So since your arrival, we've seen the Crusaders shift a whole lot more. Is there any danger of that? You know, we're hearing about Major League Baseball and that being banned to a certain extent. You know, you
Right.
can still shift, you know, a little bit, but you're not going to see any more of the shortstop being way over in right center field or anything like that. Is that finding its way to the collegiate level, or is it going to be? You think it's going to be allowed for a few more years?
Usually those types of rule changes take a while before they get trickled down. To me, it's silly because it takes away strategy.
Yeah.
And the shift is obviously a great method if you know what you're doing, and you have the data to back up what you're doing. You know the game. So I love the shift because it adds an element of strategy where coaching can really make an impact, especially at our level. Most coaches or most people in general are going to be shift averse if they don't have the information.
Right.
We're definitely more risk takers here at North Greenville, and it certainly paid off for us last year. So I hope they don't change that rule in college baseball. Now, I will say one rule change that I like that they're doing at Major League Baseball is the bases are going to be bigger. So I think I do like that rule change.
What do you think about the pitch clock coming to NCAA baseball in a few years?
Huge fan.
Yeah.
Huge fan of that. Just pace of play. No one really wants to be out here for 3.5 hours. I mean, you can be that guy that says don't change the game and all this and that. I don't think it's really changing the game. Back in the good old days, the games used to be 2 hours or less because there wasn't, all the in-between pitch type stuff. So personally, I'm a fan of it.
Yeah. Well, I know I work a lot of Greenville Drive games during the summer, and, typically in the Green Monster, and, man, some of those games prior to this past season, I mean, they were just at a snail's pace, and that pitch clock really did speed things up so much. It was a huge difference, and it was refreshing. I was against it at first, but once I saw it in play, it was awesome.
Yeah.
I loved it.
And my as Colin Fowler takes a strike right there, my message to the baseball traditionalist, a lot of people just say leave the game alone. Well, if you want to bring, if you're a true traditionalist and you go back and watch those games in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, they were basically on the pitch clock. They were delivering pitches within 20 seconds. Every time, because there wasn't as much, stepping out of the box and that type of stuff.
Plus, not as many games were televised, so you didn't have all these media breaks to worry about and things like that. So yeah, I mean, it's just, it's going to make a big difference. And you're right, it definitely is going to kind of bring things back to the length of a game that they were back in the day. So definitely.
Exactly. Colin Fowler here works a full count. Fowler with a good at-bat last time up. He had a sac fly deep into right field for an RBI. It is 7-7 here in the bottom of the 4th. Runners on first and second base. Colin Fowler has got a lot of power. He's got a lot of tools. He's played a great outfield here this fall. Transfer from UNC Greensboro. Alongside another UNC G transfer, Caleb Freeman, who is out sick today. Freeman, double play ball maybe. Vasquez over to Zaxar at second. Good quick turn, but unable to get the quick Fowler down the line. Good turn out there by Vasquez, and I thought a pretty decent turn by Zara. He did throw it in the dirt, but Fowler picked him up over there. Close play at first. But that will just be scored as a 6-4 fielder's choice for Colin Fowler. Jalen Vasquez transferred from University of South Carolina, looking for him to do big things for the Crusaders this year. Very solid defensively is Vasquez, and his bat this fall has been very encouraging as well. Another guy who had a big summer, Jalen Vasquez, played in the Cape over the summer. Hit 7 or 8 home runs, I believe, and So far this fall, Vasquez with 3 homers, OPS over 1,000, and just really has had good at-bats throughout the course of the fall.
Might as well be a pipeline between the University of South Carolina and here at North Greenville with all the South Carolina transfers we seem to get.
Yeah, well, it's been certainly something that Landon Powell has used to his advantage, but we also have a lot of freshmen and first-year players that have made an impact here in this program, and the recruiting class that we brought in this year is something that we are very, very proud of. Caleb Hall off the end of the bat out to right field. Zach Zara, an unbelievable effort in right field, and Colin Feller's going to score, and Caleb Hall is going to scoot up to second base after that play. Caleb Hall, who has had a very unlucky fall up to now, finally gets on the board with a hit, and Zach Zara is down out there. Head coach Landon Powell is going to go check on him. Amazing effort. Alan, this is where we need extra cameras and stuff. I mean, I'm not complaining, but we're very thankful to have this broadcast. But what a play, or what an effort out there from Zach Zara. Unable to get it, and looks like he shook up a little bit, but he was fully vertical on that. Or horizontal, I should say.
Yeah, he definitely went all out for it, no question about that.
So how many runs scored? What's going on over there?
I don't know.
What is Cole Long doing over there? Come on, Cole, pick it up.
16-7 according to the scoreboard, which is not the case.
How many runs did that score? That brought home Colin Fowler, but weren't there? I think there were 2 runners on base. Odom was on base, so I think Odom. No, I think 2 runs came across there, so it's going to be 9-7 for Team Black. And looks like Zara, a very tough kid. Zach Zara, tournament MVP in the Conference Carolinas Championship.
I'm going to go help them again real quick.
Thank you, Alan. Alan's going to go try to clean up things on the scoreboard out there. But Zach Zara, once again, Conference Carolinas tournament MVP, a utility player. Played a lot of outfield last year. He can play shortstop. He can play second base. A lot of versatile athletes on this North Greenville team. Great effort there. But Caleb Hall gets a hit and drives in a couple for Team Black. Lots of scoring here. 9-7 now for Team Black. And Aiden Dillahay, the young freshman out of California, is now in the batter's box. Dillahay, a great athlete. He has had some good times and has had some good learning opportunities so far here this fall. 4 doubles this fall for Dillahay. He has done some nice damage backside. His hit, most of his extra base hits are going to go to right center or right field, but still working on his swing. His pitch on the outer half and fouled away for Dillahay. Dillahay, a really good runner, another versatile athlete, could play outfield, infield. Had some arm issues earlier this fall, but it's finally kind of working his way back to being able to throw the baseball.
You know, all the scoreboard issues we're having, I feel like the regular scoreboard operator during the season should, you know, get a little bonus, just saying.
I guess that's you there, Alan.
Stats and scoreboard.
Stats and scoreboard for Alan Cahaley, who was, we are thankful, put on this broadcast here for us today. This is Trey Dyson, assistant coach, bringing you the action here in Tigerville. Game 2 of the Fall World Series. This break-in pitch down in the dirt. Hall takes off, reads it perfectly, and he gets the third base. Bit of a risky play there with 2 outs from Caleb Hall, but it pays off, as Dillahay, I think, may have thought he might have walked, or did he think he got hit by the pitch? I'm not sure. But another one of those learning opportunities for Dillahay. We'll talk about that after the game. Or not sure what he thought happened there. Maybe you think he thought he got hit by that pitch?
I really have no idea. I'm really not sure.
This ball is hit out to short. Vasquez gets another chance. Another low throw in the first base play. First baseman for North Greenville today are putting on a clinic. Team Black scores 2 runs and retakes the lead from Team Red as we head to the top of the 5th inning. Things are getting exciting once again here. Fall World Series. We will be back.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, folks, we are back here in Tigerville as we head into the bottom of the 5th inning, a back-and-forth game. Team Red and Team Black, a lot of good offense, a lot of good defense here as Team Black leads it 9-7. Evan Loescher now on the mound for Team Black. This will be his 2nd appearance already here in the Fall World Series as he pitched an inning in Game 1 of the Fall World Series. Team Red once again taking Game 1 thanks to the Corey Bivens walk-off hit after they stormed back after trailing 5-0. Corey Bivens and crew came back to win that game to take Game 1 of the series. Team Black trying to even things up here at 1 apiece, but Team Red and their offense has been very good here today. Andrew Kaminsky, who will be coming up here, take a look at him right there. A big 2-run bomb into center field last at bat. The World Series MVP from a year ago, making his impact here in this game. Just a great kid, Andrew Kaminsky's got a wonderful swing. AK, as we call him here, hit .323 for the Crusaders, played in 25 games, but only had 31 at-bats, hoping to get some more opportunities this year. He faces the Submariner, Evan Loescher here. This one up and away. AK takes it for a ball. Interesting play right there. It looked like
That's the first time I've seen a batter override the umpire.
Well, you see that type of stuff here at the Fall World Series where it kind of looked like he almost offered it that pitch.
Yeah, the umpire definitely said foul ball. I could hear that, and he raised his hands, and Kaminsky just said, that hit me, and he headed to first.
Trey Hudson, our umpire, he does a lot of work for us in the fall. He does a wonderful job. But AK definitely got hit by that pitch, but you could have certainly seen how they could have argued that being a foul ball. And that's going to bring up Josh Williams. Williams had a sacrifice opportunity his first at bat, was unable to move the runners. He grounded out to second his last at bat, but this should be a really good matchup for him with the Submariner coming right into him. Loescher has had some success sprinkled in here this fall, looking to shut down Team Black. A good pitch to hit right there, and Williams fouls it away. Josh Williams hitting .286 coming into this game. 2 homers on the fall for the freshman. A lot of bat speed. Very fast around the bases. A lot of pop in that bat. Loescher attempts to pick off Kaminsky at first base. A lot of back and forth action here. Pitchers having a tough time getting those much-needed shutdown innings after their team scores some runs for them. This pitch looked like another good pitch for Williams there. Fouled away. I think that might have been an off-speed pitch there from Loescher. Here comes the 1-2. Down and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Williams. If you're Josh Williams here, it's a good matchup for you. You should see the ball extremely well against this style of pitcher. Bryce Roddy way up the middle here. Tons of room on that right side of the field. With Kyler Odom holding on the runner there at first base, and Roddy being so far up the middle, it's just screaming for a ground ball through that right side, especially with this type of matchup. In other words, I kind of wish I was on the field right now, AK or Allen directing some fielders, but we'll see what happens. Well, right back up the middle, Loescher does a nice job corralling that one, gets the lead out at second base as Pat Monteith is there, tries to turn the double play, but unable to get the speedy Josh Williams. So nice play by Loescher, fielding his position there. As Williams hits into a fielder's choice. And that will bring up to the plate another freshman, Baby Shiesty, as we call him here, from AC Flora High School. Jake Sears smoked one into left field in his last at bat.
AC Flora, my old stomping grounds in Columbia.
What sports did you play in high school?
Sport, yeah, right.
I know that you are a gamer, though.
No,
that's a sport.
Not really.
I thought you were a gamer.
No. You just assumed that looking at me.
Nah, don't let them fool you, folks. Alan Cahaley, definitely a gamer. I mean, I'm a gamer.
I wish I did. I liked golf at a real young age. I wish that I had taken that. So we have a.
Wow. Must have been a really bad jump from Josh Williams, or a potential hit and run gone bad, but Williams, normally a good runner. John Michael Phil absolutely hoses him at second base. No doubt on that one. They got him by a couple steps there. And Loescher, although he might be long to the plate, he makes up for it with changing his hold times, and that was a pretty good catch and throw right there from John Michael Phil. 2 down here. Good pitch there from Evan Loescher. Evan Loescher, as a right-handed submariner, this is where you got to make your money, Allen, against these right-handed batters. Very tough matchup for the righties. Loescher needs to capitalize. All right, going back to your story.
I was going to say, I'll put it this way. I was a marching band kid.
Okay, well, good. Well,
Now, it did get me a great experience because I was in the marching band at South Carolina for 3 years. Marcus Lattimore's 3 years,
Oh,
2010
wow.
to 2012. So it was a great time to be a part of that atmosphere. It was unreal.
those were some great times.
Oh, yeah.
And Jake Sears hits this one out to second. Roddy picks it up, fires across, and folks, we have our first shutdown inning here, courtesy of Evan Loescher in Team Black. Some good defense sprinkled in. We are going to go to the sixth inning.
That's correct. Yes,
The
that's correct. That's
sixth
correct.
inning. Team Black leads it 9-7. We will be back.
And I believe, as we're back, believe that we told you wrong. Team Black is the home team, so we are in the bottom of the fifth. So we thought we were done with the fifth, but that is not the case. Bottom of the fifth, Team Black leads it 9-7. Team Red does lead in hits 7-5, as the first pitch is swung on for a strike. It's Pat Monteith at the plate. As Trey Dyson has mentioned several times today, a huge part of last year's national championship team. Second pitch to him is low and away for a ball. Next one is high and outside, 2-1.
Apologize for that, Alan. I was actually giving some coaching advice to the young Bryce Roddy over there for Team Black. Pat Monteith, one of the major stories of this game here today, 3 for 3, the #1 draft pick for Team Black. Starting at shortstop today, Zach Cowart, the starting shortstop for Team Black, sprained his thumb yesterday in practice. Diving for a ball. He is out today. Pat Monteith has had to slide to shortstop. He has not only played great defensively, but has had his best game offensively of the fall. I guess that was low. Must have been low there for Monteith. 3-2 count.
Yeah, I did mention just a moment ago, we're actually in the bottom of the fifth, not the sixth. Team Black is the home team, so.
Bottom of the fifth, Team Black leads at 9-7, and Monteith gets on base for the 4th time today. Super utility. Pat Monteith can do it all, can play outfield. Today he's playing shortstop. He's actually caught some this fall. And Team Black looking to even this series up at 1. They are doing a nice job of it. 9-7, top of their order up. Monteith, the leadoff batter, gets on for the 4th time today, and Carter Deerdorf, the young freshman, who has just had an outstanding fall. You heard Landon Powell raving about him earlier. Professional approach at the plate. Leads the team in OPS and multiple other offensive categories. Last at bat, Deerdorf singled into left field for 2 RBI, 2 out, 2 RBI base hit. He's just really, really been impressive.
Trey, I'm curious. Do you know if these are their actual walk-up songs that they're going to want for the season, or is this just a collection of random ones being played?
Well, as you know, Alan, during our coaches meeting led by our great athletics director, Jan McDonald, there was something said about that. I believe you were in charge of the music, sir.
To an extent. No, I'm not asking. I'm not complaining about anything. I'm curious.
Yeah, I'm curious, too. I don't know because, not everything gets approved.
His would call me
here.
Maybe. So that's
well, he's a freshman, so he's going to get the Taylor Swift treatment, I guess. The good observation by you there, Alan. As Deerdorf is in a 1-2 count, Deerdorf stays in there well, and this is what he does. We mentioned the left-handed pitching. Crusaders have a ton of it this year, and a lot of times that can be difficult, especially for young left-handed hitters, but Deerdorf has handled every test so far here this fall. But not this time, as Sahil Patel blows that fastball by him. That's only the 4th strikeout of the fall for Deerdorf, so Patel has got to be feeling good about himself after that one. Retiring Carter Deerdorf here, so 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th as King Fail, John Michael Fail, steps into the batter's box.
I'm curious. Something worth mentioning. We were talking.
There goes the runner. Monteith on the move. Great throw from Jax Cash, but no one there at second base. You can see Jax holding his arms up there like, what's going on out there? No one there to cover, and Monteith, reading Sahil Patel, the lefty, gets into scoring position for John Michael Fail. Go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, sorry, I was just going to say. So I'm honestly curious to get your input on this. I don't know if you've ever heard this before. Maybe it's more common than I thought. But I went to Richland Northeast High School in Columbia for 2 years. Family moved up to Anderson, finished at T.L. Hanna. But when I was at Richland Northeast, they had 7th graders on varsity. Have you heard of that before? Or is that more common than you think?
For baseball?
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty uncommon.
Okay.
Fail gets one to hit. Pops this one straight up in the air. Does Jax Cash have a play? He does not. Well, there it comes. The ball comes down off the net. You get a good look at Jax Cash right there. Jax Cash, a very charismatic player. John Mike gets away with one there. But I guess different programs, Alan. I used to coach at Blythewood High School, and I would, if we had a player that we felt like was going to help us down the road at some point, I was a big, firm believer of getting those guys experience at the varsity level personally, whether it be pinch running or an at-bat, just so they can get that experience. John Mike gets this one, fouls it deep into the dorms over there.
Yeah, I had a buddy on the varsity team at Richland Northeast when I was there, and he wanted me to try out for the team because they were looking for anybody. They were trying just to create they were having trouble just filling out the junior varsity team, and so I think it was more from necessity than anything that he had 7th graders on varsity. But yeah, my baseball days, I knew by then were done, as we have a called strikeout for John Michael Fail. Don't see that very often.
Yeah, back-to-back Ks for Patel, Sahil Patel, and 2 of the better hitters he's going to face all season long, in Deerdorf and Fail, 2 big outs.
It looks like he's going to be taken out with 2 outs, but yeah, it's just I had not played baseball since I was 12 years old. Trenham Park in Columbia.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Those were the good days, but yeah. So I pretty much knew my baseball days were over. But my friend of mine wanted me to try out, and never quite did get to that point. But yeah, it was just knowing that there were 7th graders on varsity made me think, well, maybe I should. I was a sophomore by then. I was thinking maybe why not? But yeah, never quite went after that. But
Well, Richland North, I went to Spring Valley High School. Richland Northeast had great baseball back then, and honestly, over the past couple years, they've actually had a pretty good program. They've had some good coaches get in there and get that program up and running. Probably not quite to the level back like maybe in the late 90s, early 2000s, but they've got it running pretty good now. And Sahil Patel's day is done. He did a really, really good job for Team Red. Starting pitcher and Team Red captain Reese Fields makes a pitching change. We will tell you more about that pitcher when we come back. And welcome back into the broadcast here at North Greenville University. Game 2 of the Fall World Series. Team Black leads at 9-7. 2 outs here. New pitcher for Team Red, the young freshman, Jackson Edwards, has left the PA booth over there. He's been doing the announcing for the Fall World Series. He is now on the mound facing Bryce Roddy. Jackson Edwards not going to blow you away with velocity, but does throw a lot of strikes, very competitive, has a good little off-speed pitch. It's a big differential between his fastball and his off-speed pitch, so can certainly trick the hitters. Bryce Roddy had a great day offensively yesterday. Today, 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. This one on the inner third, taken for a strike, but if you're Bryce Roddy here, Bryce Roddy's been doing this really his whole life. 2 outs, runner in scoring position. This is where you typically see the best version of Roddy. Close pitch right there, taken for a ball, 2-1 count. Great protection behind Bryce Roddy. Jake Girardi looming in the on-deck circle. Girardi, 3 at-bats today. He's gotten on base all 3 times. There comes the 2-1. This ball looked like a good pitch to hit. Roddy got jammed on that one and pops it weakly to Zach Zara out there in short right field. So Jackson Edwards, Sahil Patel, hats off to those 2 young freshmen for Team Red. They shut down Team Black here in the bottom of the 5th. We're going to head to the top of the 6th. Team Black leads it 9-7. We will be back. And welcome back in, everybody. Beautiful day, beautiful fall day here in Tigerville, and big-time college baseball on display. The national champions, North Greenville Crusaders, are playing their fall World Series. Game 1 went to Team Red, and manager and captains Reese Fields and Corey Bivens with a walk-off hit. Corey Bivens, the birthday boy here today, with the walk-off hit in Game 1. Team Black, under the leadership of John Michael Fail and Noah Takis, are looking to even things up. They lead it 9-7 as we head to the top of the 6th inning. That right-hander on the mound is sophomore Noah Engel. Is looking to shut it down here for Team Black. This ball from Brody Fowler grounded right back to Engel. That's a big first out here. That's a good for Noah Engel's confidence, getting that leadoff out. Noah Engel did some good things for the Crusaders last year as a freshman. This fall, he has increased his velocity, but he's been hit around more than usual, and he is looking for a good outing here to cap off his fall. That'll bring up Darian Whitaker, center fielder.
Second pitch to Whitaker is low and inside. Trey Dyson has to step away just for a moment. 2-0 count to Whitaker is low and inside for ball 3. Appreciate you joining us today. A pretty cool day overall here in Tigerville. Called strike to Whitaker. It's going to be even cooler tomorrow. High tomorrow right around 60 degrees, as that one is inside for ball 4. So after the walk to Whitaker, that'll bring up Corey Bivens.
Whitaker on base, and here comes the birthday boy himself, Corey Bivens, who has already gone deep here once today. First at bat in the first inning against Connor Brinson, hit a bomb to left field. This pitch is taken inside, 1-0. Yeah, more about Noah Engel. Engel be 90-91 off the mound. Good velocity. He's got a good slider as well. This one chopped over to third. That's going to go over Caleb Hall's head. It's going to be another hit for Corey Bivens, and Team Red will not go away, Alan. Just like in Game 1, after trailing by 5 runs, they come all the way back to win that game. They have trailed here today, but have come back and looking to make a comeback once again today with the left-handed hitting Jalen Vasquez coming to the plate with runners on first and second. And a dangerous part of the order here for Noah Engel. Jalen Vasquez up here with Jax Cash on deck. Noah Engel appeared in 10 games last year for the Crusaders. 2 starts. Had a 3.27 ERA, a record of 1-0. Opponents only hit .077 against him last year, Allen. That's pretty good. This fall been a bit of a different story for Engel, but he is working his way back and looking to do good things for the Crusaders once again this year. This one has popped up. An infield fly rule is called if it's fair. It was a foul ball, but Kyler Odom puts that one away. 2 big outs for Engel here in Team Black.
I'm going to take a wild guess and say Jax Cash is up.
That would be correct, Alan. Jax Cash, the money man himself. The money player, Jax Cash, has had a great fall, great season last year for Cash. 353 overall last year. Leads the team in RBIs this fall. Hit one off the wall. His last at bat. This one chopped high over to Caleb Hall. What a play by Kyler Odom. Hall with a long throw back there at third base. Kyler Odom has looked like young Todd Helton today with the picking abilities over there at first base. What a play to end it. Noah Engel throws up a 0 for Team Black, and they lead this one as we go to the bottom of the 6th, 9-7. We will be back in a moment to bring you the action. Welcome back into Tigerville, folks. It is a beautiful day for baseball. Team Black looking to square up this Fall World Series at a game apiece. They trail 1-0, but find themselves with a two-run lead here late in the game. And, folks, you are in for a treat as the king himself of Division II baseball, John Michael Phil, the catcher and manager for Team Black today, has joined us in the booth. John Mike, it's a pleasure.
How are you doing, Trey? Man, I'm glad to be up here. You said it. We're in a battle today. The offense has really shown up. And so, it's been a great game, though. Maybe a tough game to manage a little bit, but, we got a great team, a lot of competitors, and, we're an inning away, 3 outs away.
One thing I love about this competitive Fall World Series, a guy like Noah Engel, who's had a really, really tough fall. Great year last year for the Crusaders. He has not had much success here this fall, but he throws up a 0 there in a big spot for Team Black.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing about the Fall World Series, Trey. We see it time and time again, guys that don't, necessarily have a great fall. This is a great time and a great opportunity to flip a switch and kind of turn your fall around. And you just saw 2 innings right there with Evan Lozier and Noah Engel, back-to-back 0s when we needed it the most.
Yeah, 2 guys who have really struggled this fall, 2 big 0s as Caleb Hall. No, that's Jake Girardi. Shoots one out to right field. That is the first time that Jake Girardi's been retired today. On base 3 consecutive times before that, but he flies out to right field against the young freshman Jackson Edwards. John Mike, I want to ask you about this kid that is stepping up to the plate right now. Kyler Odom, have you seen a better game defensively by a Crusader first baseman?
It's been a while, I'll say that. And I'll tell you what a steal in the draft. We got this guy late. I couldn't tell you the exact round or pick, but, there are a lot of players were taken before him, and what a value of a pick that he has been for this Black team. Really stepped up defensively today, which is kind of what we've asked for, which is what we asked him to do. So I couldn't be happier. I couldn't be more proud of him. Just a great player, tremendous talent.
Lots of good-looking left-handed hitters this year for the Crusaders. Have not been able to really say that in the past. But this year, Kyler Odom, Carter Deerdorf, Maddox Smith, Bryce Roddy, lots more than I'm not even mentioning are going to make some impacts here for the Satyrs.
Yeah, no question about that. The lefties are, they –
Zach Zara.
I was about to say, but like you said, we haven't been able to say that in the past. And, so we got a lot of great lefties, not just hitters, but pitchers as well. So, and we saw that a lot on Wednesday. But, no, you're right about that. But we've got a lot of great players, and we're really excited.
John Mike, we are literally taking folks inside the game right now. If folks are listening, I mean, you're in the game right now. Your team you're catching in this game. Folks, I'm about to put out a tweet right now. I'll show you what he's looking like up here in the booth. But John Mike is catching this game, and his team is up 9-7. Big game after kind of you got to call it what it is, a big choke job in game one. Y'all winning that game 5-0, y'all lose that game.
No, absolutely, and that's baseball for you. And, we went up 5-0, and we were really excited. We got the bats going finally and kind of a stalemate there for a little bit. But, sometimes the pitchers you throw out there just don't have their best stuff. But I'll tell you what, we trust all our arms, and the guy that I'm talking about will be out there again.
What good play from Zach Zara out there at second base. Zach Zara is so athletic, so versatile. But he looks like he might be in a little bit of pain out there. Well, I hope he is okay. Go ahead, John Mike.
No, yeah, I was just I actually lost my train of thought there, Trey.
We're talking about the choke job in game one.
Yeah, sometimes pitchers, sometimes we throw a guy out there, we're really confident, and he just doesn't have his stuff. But, we trust him, and we trust our arms, and he'll be out there again tomorrow. So, it's a short memory is what I've been telling my team, trying to manage this group of guys.
Well, John Mike, there's 2 outs. I'm assuming you will be catching the next inning.
I will, Trey, yes.
So I guess you're going to stay with us until that third out is made?
And then we'll rush down there.
Okay, folks. Well, Caleb Hall is up, and Caleb Hall, a bit unlucky this fall.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he's the difference in this game right now, as in his last at-bat, he kind of blooped one out into right field. Big two RBI single for the kid.
Yes, maybe not the prettiest of hits. But, in a game like this, we'll take anything we can get. And so, a good, big, clutch hit from him. And great base running also by Colin Fowler to just keep going around the bases and giving us that 2-run lead that we have now. Yeah,
lots of good awareness drafted by Team Black. John Michael Fail, Noah Takis, good awareness type players. As Caleb Hall hits this one hard out to second, Zach Zara gets it. Fielder's choice over to Vasquez. John, Mike, good luck the rest of the way. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Trey Dyson. Go Team Black.
That was John Michael Fail, and that was certainly a pleasure to have him. Team Black unable to scratch anything across the young freshman Jackson Edwards. Nice job by him. Team Black continues to lead 9-7 as we head to the final inning. We are headed to the final inning, folks. Stay tuned, and we will be right back after this. And welcome back in, everybody, as we head to the top of the 7th inning. Team Black, the home team today, leads it 9-7, the final inning. Today's game will be 7 innings. The first game was scheduled for 7 innings, went to extra innings before Team Red walked it off. Zach Zara at the plate facing Noah Engel. Engel with a clean first inning of work. We want to thank the catcher who's down there catching right now, John Michael Fail, for being in the broadcast last half inning. John Mike with 2 RBIs on the day. Zara gets a pitch on the inner half and swings right through it. But if Team Red wants to make a comeback, this is a big at-bat right here for Zara. Needs to get on base. This one is hit high and deep into right field, and Zach Zara gets him one. Zach Zara hits a bomb to right field, and what a start here in the top of the 7th for Team Red, trying to make a comeback for the second straight game. Zara blasts one out to right, his first home run of the fall. Alan, what you got on that swing?
I don't know. Look good to me. I mean, if you expect me to go into the technique and all that, I'm the wrong person for that.
That's not you. Well, Zach Zara, I'll tell you what, he blasted one off the wall yesterday for a double, hit one to the warning track earlier in this game, has played his heart out at second base, and he just blasted one over the right field wall to bring his team within 1 run.
I'm more worried about what. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say I'm more worried about whether the scoreboard is gonna update or not, but it did. It did.
And Andrew Kaminsky now at the plate for Team Red. He has already gone deep today for a 2-run bomb. He's also been hit by a pitch. This time he gets a really good one to hit right there, but fouls it off. Andrew Kaminsky, last year's Fall World Series MVP. A chance to help Team Red fight back once again here today. This one taken up and out of the zone. Kaminsky's gotten on base 3 times today. This one swung through. Kaminsky's going to have to initiate a 2-strike approach here against Noah Engel. This one taken inside. It's going to be full count. Noah Engel cannot let that home run from Zara affect him. He came in throwing strikes, and he needs to continue to do so, but this one up and out of the zone, and Andrew Kaminsky on first base. Will be interesting to see here if they don't get a pinch runner for Kaminsky. Kaminsky, not a bad runner, but did have knee surgery earlier this fall to repair a little bit of damage in that right leg of his, but he's back and running. He's made a couple of nice plays in right field today, and he will be in the game, stay in the game at first base. Josh Williams comes up. Good pitch right there from Noah Engel. 0-1 count. Engel looking to close it out here for Team Black to knot up this Fall World Series at a game apiece. Taken outside for a ball, 1-1. Big opening over there on the right side for Josh Williams. Williams grounded out to Evan Loescher, the pitcher, in his last at-bat. This time and rolls it over. Going to be a tough play for Roddy, who kind of had a tricky hop there and was unable to get the energy needed to be able to put this steam on the throw needed to get that speedy Josh Williams. Team Red in business here on the top of the 7th.
Yeah, that was kind of hitting no man's land. If that ball's hit just a little bit harder, it's at least 1 out, maybe even 2. Instead, it's hit at the perfect place, just nothing that could have been done about that defensively. So Team Red in business here in the top of the 7th, just down 1 run.
The young freshman Jake Sears with a hit today. He is going to try to lay down a bunt here to get that tying run over to third base and try to put the go-ahead run, Josh Williams, up to second. Baby Shiesty, a superstar hitter at AC Flora High School, a freshman here at North Greenville. Certainly, when you play for head coach Andy Hallett at AC Flora, you know how to do the little things. Andy Hallett, one of the best coaches in the state of South Carolina, teaches his teams the fundamentals. So you got to love when you get a player coming from that program. Jake Sears, a great player in a 2-0 count. And team manager Corey Bivens lets him swing away there. They take off the bunt. He is now in a 3-0 count.
You think he's got the green light here?
Well, if I'm Corey Bivens, I'm giving Jake Sears the green light here. But no, he's going to try to fake bunt, try to draw a walk, and you can't fault him for that. But I'm for the dramatic.
Yeah.
Give the kid the green light right there. 3-0, already roped one into left field, looking to make a name for himself. The 3-1 taken down, a quality AB there from Jake Sears. And Noah Engel finds himself in a jam here in the top of the 7th.
Looks like Takis going to go have a word with him.
Noah Takis, team black captain, alongside other team captain John Michael Phelps, out there talking to Noah Engel. Like we mentioned before, Engel has struggled this fall, but did throw up a 0 last inning, had a good year for the Crusaders last season. To me, it just looked like Engel was kind of rushing things out there, kind of letting things snowball on him. I'd like to see him maybe take some time to compose himself a little bit more. But right now, if you're Team Black, you got to try to limit damage. You're the home team. You've got a great offense. Even if Team Red does take the lead, you got to feel confident in your abilities that you'll be able to make a comeback in the bottom half of the last inning. So right now, Noah Engel just needs to really just try to limit damage, try to give his team a shot at the bottom half of the inning. But Brody Fowler has been hot, and he is going to show a bunt there. It looks like Team Red's trying to rattle Noah Engel, trying to get him to throw some more balls. But Engel right there, right down the pipe. Ooh. Brody Fowler misses a good one to hit right there. If you're Brody Fowler right here, situational hitting, you really have one job. That's just get the run home from third base to tie this thing up. This one way outside the zone. The corners are in for Team Black. Caleb Hall at third, Kyler Odom at first. The ball is hit to them. They'll try to come home with it. This one way up out of the zone.
Yeah, that first ball, more of a waste pitch, but that one just flat out got away from him.
Here comes the 2-2. This ball is hit straight up in the air. That's probably an infield fly rule, and yes, it is called. Bryce Roddy secures it for 1 out, and a big first out there to get the hot-hitting Brody Fowler there from Noah Engel. And now, Alan, you are 1 ground ball away from winning the game if Noah Engel can induce it. It's not going to be easy. Darian Whitaker is a very good runner, and not an easy guy to double up at all. But at least if you're Engel, that's what you got to be telling yourself. I'm a ground ball away from winning the game. Good little play there. We've seen John Mike pick off 3 or 4 guys this fall. He's picked off guys at first base. He's picked off guys at third base. Kyler Odom, the young freshman, looking to back pick Jake Sears over there. And Darian Whitaker reaches for that one. What a job here from Noah Engel as Whitaker, visibly frustrated, had a chance to tie the game, unable to do so. But wouldn't you know it, Alan, the birthday boy, the All-American hero, the hero of Game 1, Corey Bivens, steps up to the plate. This is all you can ask for if you're a baseball fan.
And this is who you want up for Team Red for sure. There's only a select handful of Crusaders on this team that, obviously most of them good hitters, but, there's always that select few on a team that you're truly comfortable with up at the plate with the game on the line. This is one of them.
That ball might have hit him. But did he offer it the pitch is the question. Yeah, if I'm team black, I'm arguing that he offered it that pitch. That being said, Corey Bivens, interesting. I'm not sure what's going on. They might call for a video replay, but there looks like we're just going to have a hit by pitch there from Corey Bivens. And so once again, the best 9-hole hitter in the country, Corey Bivens, comes through with an RBI to tie. That is a tie game, correct?
It is.
Tie game. And the dangerous hitting, Jalen Vasquez, is up with the bases loaded for Team Red. Folks, after the game, we are going to try to get an interview or a couple of interviews with some of the players of the game. We will be posting that on our Twitter at NGU Baseball. So make sure to follow us there.
And all of a sudden, it's a 3-0 count with the bases loaded.
And Jalen Vasquez walks, and there is the go-ahead run. Josh Williams scores the go-ahead run, and Team Red, much like in Game 1, has stormed back. They have taken the lead here in the bottom, or the top of the last inning, and Team Black is still not yet out of trouble as Jax Cash steps to the plate. This one out of the zone. And once again, if you're Noah Engel, yeah, things have not gone your way here, but you just got to calm down. Just try to keep throwing strikes. You have a great offense. You can still come back and win this game. This one squibbed off the end of the bat. Cash, very fortunate that that one did not stay fair.
At the same time, though, Cash is a guy that has the power to really take this inning from being 2 runs down to putting it out of reach pretty much. I mean, he's one swing away from a grand slam.
This one painted on the outer half. Great pitch right there from Noah Engel. Cash has already hit one off the wall today for a double. It's also hit into a double play. He singled up the middle, and he grounded out to third.
Sun's starting to set out in left field. You wonder if, I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue for these batters.
Jams them out to Caleb Hall at third base. Hall's going to take it himself. Noah Engel gets out of the inning, but not before Team Red comes all the way back, scores 3 runs. They now lead 10-9 as we head to the bottom half of the last inning. Stay with us. And welcome back in, everybody. A great baseball game here today in Game 2 of the Fall World Series. Team Black was looking to even things up, had a 9-7 lead heading into the last inning. Team Red storms back, scores 3 in the top half, now lead at 10-9, and right-handed flamethrower Cooper Sane is on for Team Red, looking to close it out and give Team Red a 2-0 series lead in this best of 5 Fall World Series. Been a very competitive Fall World Series so far, much like it is every year. Lots of talent on the field. Lots of guys competing, trying to make a name for themselves. Team Red was at a disadvantage today as superstar Caleb Freeman is out sick, and right-handed pitcher closer Nate Roof is also out sick. The flu is going around. Some guys are out sick, but Team Red has fought its way back. Corey Bivens gets hit by a pitch to tie up the game. Jalen Vasquez walks in Josh Williams to give Team Red the lead. To lead off that, oh my gosh, I don't know if the camera just picked that up. Did you see that, Alan?
No.
Cooper Sane throws a warm-up pitch off the glove of Jack Skash and hits Aiden Dillahay's bat.
Oh, really?
As he was like kind of warming up. That's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. But anyway,
Well,
Zach Zara led off last half inning. His first home run of the fall to bring Team Red within 1. And then they tack on 2 more. 10-9 as Cooper Sane enters the building.
Well, all that did happen on camera, so we'll have to go back and look at it after. It's almost as much of a fluke as when John Michael shattered the glass at I think it was one of the Florida schools a couple years ago.
Well, shattering glass is something we know about. Jordan Holiday last year during Scout Day shattered the glass of one of the dorms out in left center field.
Ooh.
During the Scout Day. But here we go, back into the action. Aiden Dillahay, the freshman, leads off for Team Black. He swings through this one. Cooper Sane has been challenged here recently by head coach Landon Powell. Sane, all the talent in the world, has struggled this fall. His first fall after coming off a arm injury, but he is back and looking to close things out here for Team Red. Sane up to 94 miles an hour, has a really good split finger fastball as well. Another swing and miss. Dillahay finds himself in a 1-2 hole. Dillahay came on for Maddox Smith, another freshman. Maddox Smith had 2 at-bats today, and another swing and miss. Or a sword, if you will, is what the kids say nowadays. Cooper Sane comes in and makes his presence felt right away with the strikeout of Dillahay. 1 down here in the bottom of the 7th. Dillahay came on for Maddox Smith. Maddox Smith had 2 at-bats. Got hit by a pitch both times. Aiden Dillahay was subbed in for him. Dillahay grounded out to short and just struck out there. Team Black and Pat Monteith have 2 more outs to try to tie this thing up. Monteith, the first pick in this year's Fall World Series draft, has had to play shortstop today. He's played an amazing shortstop. 4 at-bats, 4 times on base here today. Another swing and miss for Cooper Sane. Monteith homered in his first at-bat. Hit a missile into left center field that Darian Whitaker was able to cut off and hold him to a single. He then chopped one into the hole, the 6th hole, for a single in his 3rd at-bat, and he walked his last at-bat. But he is down in the count right here against Cooper Sane. He has taken this one for a ball. 1-2 now for Monteith. Monteith, a junior. all the talent in the world, big-time prospect. The 1-2. Great take from Monteith, a tough pitch to lay off of from Cooper Sain. And Monteith, a guy we talked about it earlier, not afraid to strike out, but he will walk. He's got a great eye, and he has really made some strides with that strikeout to walk ratio this fall. And Cooper Sain gets that one by him. Sain, 2 batters face 2 big punch-outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
That's your fault, Trey.
Well, Monteith coming into today's game, 16 walks to only 9 strikeouts on the fall. That's good for him. He's had a great game, but that time Cooper Sain just a little too good. Another guy who does not strike out very much, Carter Deerdorf, had a great fall. Last chance for Team Black right here. Pitch too far inside. Deerdorf takes it for a ball. And right now, if you're Team Black, you're telling yourself, if we can just get to John Mike. John Mike, you can see him looming on deck. This one out of the zone. And if you're Cooper Sain, you got to be thinking that as well. If you're Cooper Sain right here, last guy you want to have up is John Michael Fail. You just try to pump fastballs right down the middle. Let your defense work. You've got the first 2 outs, up a run. We'll see what happens. This one poured in there for a strike, and Cooper Sain, honestly, Allen looks as competitive as ever, or as the most competitive I have seen him so far this fall. 2-1 to Deerdorf. Another firm fastball. That one up and in, barely misses the zone. And Deerdorf in a favorable count here. Another one just out of the zone, and Carter Deerdorf continues to put up great at-bats. Does exactly what the doctor ordered and gets John Michael Fail for a chance to make an impact here in this game. John Michael Fail, the catcher today, 3-time All-American, Conference Player of the Year 2 years ago, has set numerous Division II records offensively. Jax Cash, what a block by him to keep the tying run out of scoring position. Very good play for Jax Cash. We had head coach Landon Powell up here earlier. Jax Cash let one get away from him. He was none too pleased, but I know that he was happy about that one.
And you wonder if, see what happens on this pitch. Yeah, that one low and outside. You wonder if maybe they're pitching around John Michael a little bit, just trying to be careful, not trying to give up that winning home run.
Well, you know, honestly, that's not a bad idea, Alan. Once again, another great block for Jax Cash. Bryce Roddy on deck. Roddy does lead the Crusaders in home runs this fall. He's got 4 home runs this fall, but so far offensively today he has struggled. Good pitch there, but, you know, at this point, 3-0 count.
I'm walking him.
Allen's walking him. Cooper Sain, I don't know. Cooper Sain very competitive out there today. You know that he doesn't want to walk John Mike, but I think Jax, you know, in college baseball now you can just put them on. You don't even have to actually throw the pitch, but Jax Cash probably just warning him there. But Bryce Roddy, at this point, looking like he might get an opportunity here. Roddy on the day, 0 for 4 in Game 1 of the Fall World Series. Bryce Roddy 2 for 4 with a double and his team-leading 4th home run. The 3-0 to Fail. Way out of the zone, and Cooper Sain was not very pleased with himself there. That tells me that they were pitching to John Mike. But Bryce Roddy, the hometown hero, gets a chance for Team Black to to tie the game for Team Black, possibly win the game for Team Black here. This is This is what you're looking for as a college baseball fan.
Lefty-righty matchup, too.
Yep, good matchup for him. Roddy last year against Columbus State as a freshman in the Super Regional Game 1 got an opportunity much like this. He walked off Columbus State with a huge play for the Crusaders and made an impact as a freshman right away. A local kid, Blue Ridge High School. Had a great summer, put a ton of work in, and is now in a spot to be a hero. This one up and out of the zone, threw some quality pitches to Carter Deerdorf that were borderline calls, but to John Mike and so far here to Roddy, has been missing the zone by quite a bit.
Meanwhile, Pat Monteith did take over first base for John Michael.
Here comes the 1-0 to Roddy. This one up in the zone. It did appear that he offered at that. And home plate umpire Trey Hudson does agree, at least with me up here. He did offer that pitch up in the zone. 1-1 count.
What's interesting is he asked the black team dugout if he went around, and they actually must have said yes.
I think Landon
I think so too,
probably overruled that one. But nonetheless, here comes the 1-1. This ball is popped up out there to shortstop. Who made that catch, Alan? I can't see. The sun was in the way.
I think it was the shortstop.
And Team Red and Cooper Sane have come away with a victory. Another come-from-behind victory. Shout out Cooper Sane for closing the door here for Team Red. Just an all-around great effort from Team Red today. Team Black had its moments as well. But once again, Team Red comes storming back, takes this game 10-9, and now has a commanding lead on the Fall World Series, up 2-0. Alan, final thoughts?
Just good competitive baseball. I mean, it's awesome to see. I mean, even though it's just, bragging rights on the line at the end of the day, these guys, I mean, clearly they're into it. You heard the Red team dugout going crazy after that final pop out. So, it's just it's good to see these guys out here competing, even when there's nothing on the line other than bragging rights. So, I mean, that just shows you how committed and how dedicated these guys are, and it's good to see.
Well, Alan, thank you so much for helping us here with this broadcast. Everyone who joined us on the broadcast, we thank you very much. Team Red now holds a 2-0 lead in this Fall World Series. Game 3 will be tomorrow at noon. It will be open to the public if anyone would like to come out and join. But that being said, Team Red wins it 10-9. For Alan Cahaley, I'm Trey Dyson. Thank you so much for joining us.